Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a full tutorial. It's going to be a daytime to nighttime holiday glam look. If you guys like it, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you did like it. Let me know what you would like for me to film next. And I'm just gonna jump right in. Okay, so I'm going to start by priming my face with the Smashbox Photo Ready Pore Minimizing Primer. I absolutely love this primer because I have very large pores and I have oily skin. So I'm just going to take this primer and I'm going to put it all in my T-zone area. Next I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I'm taking the BH Cosmetic 123 brush to apply this. I'm just going to start out with just a couple of pumps. This foundation is super light at first, which I love because I like any kind of foundation that feels light on the skin but that gives me a good amount of coverage. You can just keep adding to this. To get the coverage that you want. Okay, so we're going to start on our eyes, and I'm going to be priming my eyes with the concealer, and it's just the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I really like to prime my eyes with this. It gives like the perfect base for eyeshadow. So I'm just going to apply that on my lid. And then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to blend that out. Now that we put the concealer on our eyelids to give it a base, I'm going to be taking the 128 brush by BH Cosmetic. So I'm going to take the Tartelette in Bloom palette. And it is just a very soft, pretty palette. And I dropped it, which I'm sick about because it was so new and so pretty. And then I dropped it. And I'm taking this shade right here, this white shade, and it is called Charmer. And I'm just going to put Charmer with a big fluffy brush all over my lid. And that's just going to set that concealer. So I'm going to take my eyes off, and this is going to help create the wing. Okay, so I have taped my eyes off, and since there may be some beginners on here that are just wanting to learn, I always recommend using tape. So I'm going to be taking the shade Soft Brown by MAC Cosmetics with the BH Cosmetics 129 brush, and it's just a very dense crease brush. And I'm just going to work this into my crease. And I like to really use like windshield wiper motions, and then I like to go in circles because that's really going to blend everything out seamlessly. You don't want any lines. And this is just going to be our transition shade. Once you have enough in the crease and your brush is pretty much clean from using all the product that you had on there, you can start blending upward towards the brow bone. Next I'm going to be taking the 230 brush by MAC Cosmetics, and this is just a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take the color Blanc Type by MAC Cosmetics. It is just a very, very matte flat white, and this color is going to go all over our lid. This is going to be packed on pretty heavy. So next we're going to take the 221 brush by MAC. And this is honestly one of my favorite brushes because sometimes it's really hard for me to find a crease brush that is not too large. For my eyes, I have very, very small eyelids. I'm starting with the color Brown Script out of my custom palette, and it's Brown Script by MAC. And I'm just going to softly dip my brush into this color. I don't want this to be super heavy. I'm just going to build it up. So I'm going to apply this to the outer corner of my eye. You see how that just gets like so deep into my crease? I just love this brush so much, and I highly recommend it for anyone who has really small eyes like I do. And hooded eyes. It really works well for hooded eyes. We can slowly blend it into the crease area. This look is going to be super easy. I wanted it to be something that everyone can do. So next I'm going to take the color Coppering by MAC, and this is honestly one of the most beautiful shades by MAC to me. Like, I've always loved Coppering, and I'm also taking the same 221 brush that I used to apply the last shade. Between the middle and the outer corner color, I'm just going to add a bit of this and blend it into the crease. It's something about this color that really makes a green or brown eye pop. I'm going to take a clean 221 brush, and I'm going to apply a little bit of a darker shade now to my outer corner, just to give it some dimension. I'm going to start out with the color Swiss Chocolate by MAC. And I'm just going to apply this to the outer corner. Like I said, I just want to give it some dimension. So next, I'm going to take the 221 brush and add a little bit of MAC Carbon to the outer corners as well. And go very, very light on this because it can get super dark. And we just want to apply it to the outer V area. Anything that's like harsh, we're going to blend that out. This color makes a mess every time. So in a minute, I'm going to have black all over my face. We're just going to take this big fluffy brush to blend everything out that we've done so far. We are going to create our wing. And today for our wing, I'm going to be using the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and the color is Intense Black. Since we have our tape, this is going to be super easy. Same thing on this side, you're just going to draw out that line. The best thing to do is to just sit down one day and just practice with your eyeliner. That's the best way to do it. It's like, I even have days where my eyeliner will not go on right. Like, I can try and try and try. I can erase it, do it over, erase it, do it over again, and sometimes it just doesn't work. So don't ever get discouraged. It's not going to be perfect regardless, just like your brows. Your brows are never going to be the same size, but that's okay because we're not perfect. We're human. I'm just going to keep it super thin right here. So we're just going to peel that off, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish this eye. There are many times that I will get one eye so perfect and then the other eye is so unperfect. But that's okay because that's why you just keep playing around with it until you get it the way that you want to, until you get it even. Can you see that? Okay. So we're going to start now finishing the rest of our face. Using the same concealer that I used to prime my eyelids, which is the Tarte Shape Tape. And we're just going to apply this under the eyes. And I have very, very, very dark under eye area. I have really bad allergies, and so this concealer honestly just makes it all go away, which is so amazing that a concealer can do that for me. I'm just gonna put a little bit here. Now we get to blend. Taking a Down Beauty blender, which is my absolute favorite thing to use for concealer. Like, I will never ever use anything else for concealer unless something more amazing than a beauty blender comes about. And if that's the case, then I will be in shock. And I'm just going to blend. And the reason that I started out with foundation and then went to the eyes and then back to my face is because a lot of times the fallout from your eyeshadow will get underneath, and if you've already put concealer, then it's kind of pointless because you're going to have to take it completely off. Nobody wants to do that. So we do the concealer after we do our eyes. The color concealer that I'm using is light neutral. So we're going to be setting this concealer with the Naturally Neutral Airspun Loose Face Powder, all the areas where I have put concealer. The one thing though that I do notice about this is, like, on camera it looks super washed out and pale, but in person it's not that pale. The Laura Mercier setting powder is really great also to bake with. I'm taking my MAC Studio brush. I love how fluffy this brush is. It literally like smooths out everything. And I also like to just dust off that powder with this brush. I'm going to start bronzing up my face with the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Honestly, my face needs some bronzer right now because on camera it is looking pale, and it's honestly not that pale in person. Not sure what's going on. 25 by BH Cosmetics, and it's just a very round, really fluffy brush. I'm going to be applying this to the hollows of my cheekbones, like right below my cheekbone. And I'm going to blend upwards. I'm also going to apply this to my temples. So I'm also going to take a little bit of the Give Me Sun bronzer by MAC. I'm just going to take that same BH Cosmetics brush, the 125 that I applied the Hoola bronzer with, and I'm going to put a little bit of this Give Me Sun bronzer on my brush. I'm just going to bronze up my cheeks. Now that we have finished contouring, I'm going to take this custom palette by MAC, and I just have like several colors in there. I'm going to be using this one, and it's called Eternal Sun. So I'm taking the MAC angled blush brush, and I'm going to be applying this to the apples of my cheek. So I'm going to be taking the Becca Shimmer Skin Perfector. This is just a highlighter, the color Moonstone. And I'm taking the crown brush. I'm going to add just a couple of drops of this highlighter to the tops of my cheekbones. A little bit down my nose. I'm going to blend it out with this brush right here. Now I'm taking the MAC Fix Plus spray, and I'm going to spray my brush with Fix Plus spray. Just dab it in there really good. We're just going to go over the same areas that we just got done highlighting. This is just going to give that extra glow. I'm going to add this to my collarbones to really get things glowing. You know, the thing about makeup is that I feel like so many people judge you for the way that you do things, but what we forget is that each person has their own way of doing things. Just because you do it one way does not mean that the person that does it different than you is doing it wrong. There's no rules in makeup, and so have fun with it. Do what makes you happy. If it's crazy, so if you love it, do it. We're gonna take the Makeup Forever HD powder, and this is just a setting powder. It's just white and it's pressed. You see? This really helps to blend everything out also, because we don't want things to look super harsh. So now that that is finished, then we can start on our lip. This is the NYX lip liner, and it's the color Nutmeg. It's just like a neutral brownish color. So we're gonna start by lining our lips. I'm going to be taking the color Velvet Teddy by MAC, and y'all, this is almost gone, and I'm really sad because this is one of my absolute favorite lipsticks. Okay, for brows, I'm just going to be applying my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color Soft Brown, and I'm just using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. I bought the brush separately. I'm going to brush through my brows, and you want to brush kind of upward. And I'm just going to start by lining the bottom parts of my brows. I like to just take it and pull upward and kind of create my own arch. Don't get nervous if you don't get it like this the first try, because this stuff is kind of messy. I'm going to show you guys a way to correct any kind of mistakes. So now that we've kind of got the shape drawn, we're just going to take this spoolie and we're just going to blend. There's going to be some little messy spots, and that's okay because we're going to fix it. I'm going to take a little bit of the Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm going to be cleaning up my brows. And what this does is this just really shapes them and cleans up around them. And you can take the brush and kind of wipe it off with a paper towel and just start blending downwards. We're just going to finish our eyes. We're going to take the color Coppering by MAC, the one that we used on our eyelids, and I'm just going to put this underneath my eye. There you have it. This is the daytime look. To spice it up a bit, we're going to change our lip color to a red, and the red lip liner that I'm using is Alabama by NYX. Next, I'm going to take the shade Ruby Woo by MAC. It's just a really cool tone red. It looks good on every single skin tone. This is the red lip. I really do love a red lip. Red lips are absolutely beautiful during the holidays. I think it's so classic, and I think it is gorgeous. If you're not comfortable with red, that's totally fine. You have to put some glitter on these eyes for a nighttime look. This is the NYX Liquid Crystal Liner, and the color is Crystal Silk. Part right here in the middle. This is the finished look. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.